Charles, everybody in Newark.
Hey, back up a little bit.
Can you read it?
Okay.
Hello?
Get the chat going.
Get ready.
I just got the chat ready to go.
You can buy it.
Can you hear me? Testing. Hello, everybody in Newark.
Okay. No, this is Richard Dean.
One of them kills the lies and the lies.
Happy Tuesday. Please share this. Haven't been on enough. We need to get this out. This is going to be Doc Pete Chambers, our next governor of Texas. And no matter where you're from, Texas matters. How Texas goes, so goes the United States. Okay, this is Richard Dean. Can you all hear Richard talking?
They're always called
I'm checking to see if they can hear you. Hello, Shirley. Thank you so much. You couldn't hear them. Too much noise. Yeah, there's a lot of noise. Shirley's in the elevator. There's Papa Patriot. Yeah, I knew you didn't recognize that name last time. Joe, did you hear anything that Dean said?
Yes, it ain't gonna do that. That's the birthday on.
No different than Okay. Oh, are you driving back to get all your groceries
Can you hear
done?
me? Sarah, feel me?
West Virginia. I was telling on you guys, I was telling about what it was like and how we met. You know what? I do have a mini one.
chairs over on the far end of the room. So if you're needing a seat, please make your way over there now so that you're not walking through the middle of the meeting that is about to start. So I can't believe, you know what, just everybody, round of applause for yourselves and coming out tonight. Thank you very much. I'm excited about this. I'm just excited that Doc could be here. You know, we had him supposed to be here in November, and there was a family tragedy, heartbreaking and understandable that we had to cancel. I'm just glad we got him here before the primary. That was my goal, and it happened. So that's a very good thing. So I'm going to turn this over real quick. So if you need a chair, we've got empty chairs on this side. That is the east side of the room for those who know how to tell east from west. So, there's not many of us actually. All right, so I'm going to turn this over to John Shepherd, who's going to get us started. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Lord. This is the fun part. My name's John Shepherd. I am a Texan. That's all I mean. I'm Texan. I'm a Republican. However, some bad news. The president of the Grapevine Republican Club will not be addressing this tonight. However, the new Tarrant County GOP chairman, Miss Laura, oh, I promoted you.
No, you didn't. That is not a promotion.
That's not a promotion. Oh, God. I guess I need to go back into being a precinct chair again. It's been a while.
That's right.
Okay. Laura, do you want to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
So can you hear the speaker?
All right, Mike. I see that, Mike. I saw you, Mike. All right, you ready, guys? Which one? Where's our flags? Okay, you got to face that corner. See the flags? There they are, Mike. All right, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And keep facing the corner, because now we're going to do the Texas pledge. And if you don't know it, it's up here if someone will advance the screen. There we go. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Yeehaw! I think we should ratify a new law in Texas that at the end of that pledge you must say yeehaw. It's a natural and it should, let it be so. Let it be so. Can I use Star Trek metaphors? Let it be so, number one. All right, John, are you going to pray for us? Let's start this out right.
Please stand. Almighty Father in heaven, we praise your name.
Yes, Lord.
Forgive us our sins and hear our prayer.
Thank you.
Lord, we pray for this nation. We pray for the people that are going to be speaking tonight. We pray that you give them forethought, presence of mind, that they may speak freely. And we thank you for that honor that you have given us, Lord. We pray that we as citizens are given the discernment to make our decisions and to keep your will foremost in our hearts. We pray these in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Okay, I'm going to move this around because I really want to share with you this is a great crowd.
Guys, thank you for your patience. I know we're starting a little late, which means I have to talk double fast. That's not true. I talk too fast. You wouldn't be able to understand me, right? That's true. Okay, so announcements. Oh, there we go. First one. We need poll workers. We need poll watchers. Jolynn, where are you? Stand up. No, you got to stand up. Wave your arms around. There you go. This is Jolynn Potenza. She is the person to see if you can come and help at polls. And we're needing this for early voting as well as election day, right? Early voting is, who knows when early voting starts? Somebody yell it out.
17th.
February 17th through the 27th, that is correct. And election day is? March 3rd. See, I like this interactive stuff. It keeps everybody awake. All right, so that's what we're needing. And you don't have to do it every day. I don't have all the details. I just know how to be a judge. I don't know how to be a poll watcher. But we always need more good, strong conservatives watching over our elections, right? I will say this. So John got it close. I am actually the new executive director for the Tarrant County GOP. Thank you. While I think they chose well, because I'm not humble, I will say this. Man, this is a really hard job. And it's a lot of long hours. And what's really fun, real quick, who's a precinct chair in here? If you're a precinct chair, stand up. Clap for these people. This is a hard job too. If you're doing the actual job, it is not easy to get out the vote. And I think that some of us saw how important get out the vote was on January 31st. Okay, a lot of people won't talk about that. Oh, by the way, executive director hat off, Grapevine Republican Club president hat on. I can say different things under that, guys. So I will tell you this, there were a lot of reasons why SD9 is now has a Democrat senator, and I gotta tell you, it just makes me want to cry every time I think those words, much less say them, all right? The only good thing is that it's just a lame duck session and that he can't actually pass any bills, he can't do anything other than rile the Democrats up to spend double in November. And I'm telling you that right now. How many millions? Like $6-8 million they're adding to what they were spending just in Tarrant County. All right. So if you have candidates that you support that are running against a Democrat, consider giving to their campaign. They are going to have to spend like they have never spent before to get the word out. I'd like to say that it doesn't take money, but paid voter engagement, PVE, is a huge part of winning an election. It's just a part of it. It's the world we live in, you know, like it or move to, I don't know, the hills of Oklahoma somewhere. So, anyway, I digress. Let me go back. Let's look at what we've got going on. Next one, Mikey. All right, dates to remember. March 10th will be our school board forum, and in Grapevine, Colleyville ISD, every single one of our strong 3 conservatives that are on the board right now have an opponent. And I'll tell you this, and I'm probably cutting my nose off here, but let me tell you who found all 3 of those. How many people in here live in Grapevine or Colleyville or GCISD? So let me tell you, anybody want to take a guess on who rounded up all 3 of these opponents? Anybody know?
St. John.
Who?
Becky St. Bridget.
Leon Leal. Our city councilman, Leon Leal, rounded up all 3 of these candidates to run against our strong conservative school board. I'm not happy about that. That's what I'm going to tell you. Yes, ma'am?
Okay, we need everybody here to rally around us.
Yes.
I went to SD9 and I don't live in SD9, but if you guys want our conservative board members to stay, we need people.
That's right.
The community is blaming our conservative school board for closing schools when it's happening all over Texas. And so they've got people fired up. We don't have the numbers. We have a group of like 20 people, if that. So we really need you guys to kind of come and join us and back us up, please.
Thank you for that, Debbie. We do need people to help. We're going to need to work really hard to keep what we've got. You know, we say we're conservatives, right? But you got to ask yourself, what are you conserving? Right? I mean, I don't want to conserve some of the crap that's out there right now. I can tell you that. I want to get rid of that. So I want to claw back what we've lost as well as conserve what we have right now. All right? And that should be everybody's. I went to a thing the other day, and it was in neon lights on the wall of a bar. I was at an event, I swear, not bar hanging, not my scene. But it said exactly what I think every day. It says, wake up, kick ass, repeat. That is my new mantra. Wake up, kick ass, repeat. And that's what we all have to be ready to do. You have to. I'm going to come back to that real quick. So, I want everyone to know we have the school board candidate forum next month, March 10th. We'll see who shows. All 3 of our good people are coming, and I think all the others will come too. I'm pretty sure. Okay, the next one, April 14th, Kellen Jones. Who in here reads the Dallas Express? Okay. Everybody else should read the Dallas Express, okay? They're a great organization out of Dallas. They're not liberal, not by a long shot, but they're very good newspaper, and he is one of their best reporters. He's great. May 12th will be a regular meeting. I don't know what we're gonna do yet. Maybe we'll have massages or something. And then June 9th, guys, actually next month is our 10-year anniversary for the Grapevine Republican Club. 10 years. Since Julie McCarty talked me into this. All right, I'm blaming it all on her. So I didn't want to, kind of go around the school board candidate forum. So we're holding off our celebration until June. It's going to be a picnic. It's going to be great. There'll be cake. There'll be other stuff as well. Next one, Mike. Other dates to remember. There's our primary early voting, election day. So precinct conventions. Who knows? Well, let me just ask this. Who has ever been to your precinct convention? Oh, you all should be at your precinct convention. This is the convention season, if you will, for the party. You start 2 days after you vote on the 3rd, if you vote on election day, you have your precinct convention. You're just meeting with a bunch of your neighbors, and you're telling the party, hey, these are things that are important to me, and you're sending it up the pipe, so to speak, right? You're sending it up to the state. And you will also sign up to be a delegate to the Senate District Convention, which will be on March 28th. I even put down to the day. I am the chairman for Senate District 12. That covers Tarrant County, Colleyville, and Grapevine. And that's it. All right? Everybody else, you may be in another area, but you will have a Senate District Convention saying, at that point, you can sign up to be a delegate to the state convention. So it's just a process like that. But it's the grassroots way to get your concerns heard. These propositions they're putting out, you're going to see those in a second, that comes straight from these conventions, from people just on the ground like us. I mean, how many people in here really want Sharia law in Texas? Anybody? No? Amazing. It's number 10 on our propositions on your ballot, to ban Sharia law in Texas. I hope everybody actually votes to ban Sharia law in Texas. All right, and then municipal election, my next one. Okay, and I'm not going to go through all of these, but if you don't know how to get your sample ballot and read through these ahead of time, let me know. Ask somebody. But Tarrant County Voter Lookup, you can get it right there. It's easy breezy. So there are 10 non-binding ballot propositions. This is basically a survey that the Republican Party is taking to say, do you want this or don't you want this? Well, how do you feel about this, Republicans? Because remember, only Republicans vote in our primary. I wish that was actually true, but you and I both know that it's not true. So the results will guide the party's priorities for 27. The measures were approved by the members of the SREC back in September. This was an article from Aaron Anderson of Texas Scorecard, another really good publication. If you don't read Texas Scorecard, I highly recommend it. Okay, next one, Mike, let's just move on. Go to the next one. Go to 10. Right here. So there it is. Proposition. That's an important one right there, guys. We have some big enemies in our state, in our country, and we need to make sure we're preserving our law, our Constitution, our rights. And go to the next one. So the Texas Democrats will offer a separate list of propositions on their primary ballot. So somebody tell me, what do you think will be on theirs? What do you think would be one of their 10 propositions? Anybody? Legalize Sharia law. What else? Abortion for everybody, paid for by your tax dollars and mine. Right? Let all the illegals in, and let all of the criminals out of the jails. So I want to tell you this really quick. You can go to the next one, Mike. Yeah. So if you're a candidate, go ahead and start lining up here. You have about 30 seconds at the most, right? But if you're a candidate on this primary ballot, come on up. I do want to tell you, so Tim O'Hare is going to speak tonight. Is he here yet? I don't think he's here. He's going to speak tonight. Aaron Wrights was supposed to be here. Some of you may have seen that on the original announcement. But something happened, double book. It was like somewhere else in Texas. And I've known Aaron for a long time, so I was like, don't worry about it. I'm calling my county judge. And he said he would come. Now, he is still on his way here because there were protesters everywhere today at the commissioner's court. They were taking an hour to an hour and a half to talk about every single topic. And their big topic is something I just said a second ago. They want to let all of the criminals out of the jails. They don't want ICE in our jails. They don't want ICE in our city, so they were there to protest at the Commissioner's Court. It was everything that they could protest, they protested. They had signs calling Judge O'Hare, what was it? KKK Tim. KKK Tim. Oh, look, and there he is. Hello. He made it, guys. He made it, and I don't see any blood or anything on him, so it's great. The feedback that I got from other people that were watching it online was, he's a saint. How does he deal with this kind of crap over and over and over and not just throw people out? It takes a lot for these people that are serving us, these strong conservatives. When they sign up to serve you, I don't think in this world a lot of them understand just how awful that is going to be on a day-to-day basis. I mean, I don't even want to put, a Trump sticker on the back of my car because I'm afraid someone's going to key it at Costco, right? So I'm just saying, we live in a difficult time, but do not be dismayed. Do not be dismayed, because God has gone before us. He is before us. He is next to us. He is behind us. He is our rear guard. He will not let us fail, and He will go before us, and He'll take care of it. That's what I know. All right, that's where all of our hope comes from, people. It isn't any person, that's for sure. So I'm going to start you off with Tom Wilder. Come on up. You don't have to come up. I'll bring it down.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Tom Wilder, the Tarrant County District Clerk. I brought my office in under budget every year for 31 years. But I want to mention today about Commissioner's Court. I go to Commissioner's Court every time. They were meaner than ever. And I hope you'll look at the tape today and see when our county judge and commissioners, they even took a whack at me today. Look, we are what is in between you, those of you that are from out of town, we are what is in between them and you. Amen. Look at that tape, even if you don't live here. These people must be stopped. So Tom Wilder, Tarrant County District Clerk, I'm unopposed in the primary, but I got one of them in the fall. Thank you.
Hey y'all, my name is Chris Brady. I'm here on behalf of Aaron Wright and the Aaron Wright campaign. You might notice that's right. I notice I have a little bit more hair than him, so I'm not Aaron, but I'm a surrogate for him. I'm honored to speak on behalf of him tonight. I'm actually still in law school, so I drove up from Austin here tonight. I've been volunteering with the campaign since September. It's not a dispute, in my view. Aaron is the most qualified candidate to be our next Attorney General of Texas. He served in the Marines. He was Chief of Staff to Senator Cruz. And he served under President Trump at the Department of Justice. The most significant part of his experience was he was Penn Paxton's offensive coordinator, where he led 46 lawsuits against the 46th president, Otto Penn Joe Biden. So President Trump has called Aaron a true MAGA attorney, a warrior for the Constitution. We need someone like that with the actual experience litigating, defending, suing in legal combat like Aaron has to be our next Attorney General. His opponents, great people, not going to say anything negative about them, but they're going for the wrong job. They're legislators. Aaron's the only one with the executive branch experience needed to be our next Attorney General. I'll leave it at that, and thank you all for having me. God bless Texas.
Good evening, everybody. I am Dusty Fillmore. I am the newest judge in Tarrant County. I met with Governor Abbott's appointments team on January 12. Governor Abbott appointed me to the 236th District Court on January 15. I took the oath on January 30, and I am hard at work in the 236th District Court. Before I was appointed to this court, I was the lead counsel in the case against Carroll ISD that stopped their critical race theory, neo-Marxist indoctrination program. I had a Democrat opponent in November who's never tried a case in their life. 2018 law grad, never tried a case in their life. And that's the Democratic Party. Everything they touch, they degrade. So I would really appreciate your support. I'm unopposed in the March primary, but I have that Democrat opponent in November. www.fillmore4judge.com. FILLMORE for judge.com. Thank you for your support.
Good evening, Patriots. My name is Perla Hopkins, and I am an America First, Texas First, conservative Republican running to be your next lieutenant governor, because I am no longer begging that they protect children. I am just telling the lieutenant governor he's a little too late with his interim charges that he's just published. Day after day, he's making the same promises he did 3 terms ago. So no 4th term, not on my watch. In 2022, I was y'all's Republican nominee for the State Board of Education District number 5, I apologize, and over 237,000 of y'all voted for my leadership and my calls to action approach. Because in 21, I went viral when the Leander Independent School District kicked me out for standing up against the dirty books and the DEI. And so I befriended y'all's trustees here, and we put in Senate Bill 17 during the ADA to eradicate DEI in higher education. But what was our lieutenant governor waiting for? Eradicating DEI in K through 12, banning the dirty books once and for all. The Reader Act, HB 900, I know your SBOE members here, it was filled with loopholes. Every bill that goes through the lieutenant governor's desk is just unenforceable. Again, I am no longer begging, and the grassroots leaders across the state know my work ethic. So I'm counting on y'all to learn more about me at perlahopkins.com. Please give me a chance. No one will work harder for our children, for eliminating our property taxes. No Texan should ever be taxed out of their own home, especially when we're ranked number 40 in education. My number 3 priority is Texas is not for sale, one of our Republican Party of Texas priorities and resolutions. I personally went to the state senators and the representatives to make sure to sign the Denounce Care Pledge. So I am the real deal, a woman of action. God bless y'all. There's only one Texas. It's our Texas.
Howdy, I'm Judge Lee Sorrells, one of your juvenile judges, and I'm running for the 432nd Criminal District Court. I don't have the March primary opponent, but like many of my patriots here, I have a Democrat that is as far left as you can get. So I need your help in November. Sorrells4judge.com. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Ronnie Jones. I am your new state Republican Executive Committee man for Senate District 12. And I'm here supporting John Huffine for comptroller. Who's ready to Doge Texas? So if you're ready to Doge, we've got signs, push cards, it's time to get to work. But one quick note about SREC, how you elect us is at state convention. Make sure you go to your precinct conventions, sign up to be a delegate at your precinct convention, sign up to be a delegate for the state convention, and that's where you'll actually vote for your SREC committee man and committee woman for SB 12. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Brandon Weaver. I am here on behalf of my wife and my law partner, Catherine Allen. She is running for the 324th Family District Court here in Tarrant County. She does have an opponent in the primary. I won't say anything bad about him, but he does not have family law experience. My wife has over 2 decades of family law experience. I've been practicing family law that long. She is the only candidate that is board certified in family law. We would ask for your support. Thank you.
Hi y'all, my name is Lane White. I'll keep it short and sweet. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Thomas Smith. He's running for Texas State Court of Criminal Appeals Judge, place 3. He is the most proven conservative leader that we could have. He has over 40 endorsements, including Mr. Tim O'Hare, and he wishes he could be here. Thank you.
Hey y'all, my name is William Knight. I'm one of your felony judges. In my first year in office, my court disposed of 2,596 felonies, which is the most of any district court in Tarrant County, Texas. Yesterday, we finished our capital murder trial where the defendant received 2 life sentences for killing a 17-year-old and a 5-year-old. And today, we started another murder trial, working hard for you guys. Thank y'all so much for the job. Keep a Knight on the court. William Knight for judge. Thank y'all.
My name is Gregorio Hayes, and I'm running for Congressional District 30. I'm taking Jasmine Crockett's seat. Jasmine, we want her to stay or we want her to go? I need your support. I have to go fight against her person that trained her and made her the way she is. That's Pastor Hines. He has a nice sign that says BLM on his wall at his church. We can't have that here. And the other thing is I work under Doc Chambers as a recovery doctor. That's why I'm here. I bring you leadership and strength. I do not play games. I say it as it is. And I say to others, if you have thin skin, don't talk to me because I'm going to tell it as it is. Sorry, my head just went back down south, and it was a bad time down there. And I'll say, Doc is the one that I do support because he does bring leadership. He doesn't talk the talk, he walks the walk. And that's what I do. And that's what I will bring to DC, and I will represent y'all as best I can. Thank you. And please go to GregorioForCongress.com. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Armin Bazzani. I'm the mayor for the city of Keller. Candidate for House District 98. And I'll be real quick because I've spoken to a lot of you all, so I won't go into details. But I am the mayor that when the Trump administration said we need more local officials to join us with ICE, we said no problem, we're there. Became the first in the county, the second in the state of Texas to do so. I became the first mayor in the country to say we are going to say the U.S. Constitution is the only supreme law of the land. We're going to ban Sharia law, Sharia courts, and Keller will be the example. I'm the only one in this race that's backed by over 100 conservative leaders that you trust, like Beth Van Dyne, Tim O'Hare, Bill Wayburn. We are trusted because of the record that we've done. I do want to say this real quick. This is a very important race. Austin is watching this race. Over $1 million being poured into my opponent's coffers from one donor. Over 90% of that comes from one donor. We don't like Jasmine Crockett. I saw the reaction. The same group that has donated over $6 million to Democrats like Jasmine Crockett are funding my opponent's campaign. And I say this because this is what happens when Austin has people that step up and run for office with a backbone that will stand up to them in their face and say, we're done. This seat doesn't belong to you, it belongs to the people of House District 98. And you're going to see attacks for the next 3 weeks, whether it be me or a lot of the people that you support that have came up and spoken. And we need your prayers. But we need you, we need this grassroots army to stand up and back people like ourselves who are willing to say, we're done with the games, and we're going to start putting people that put you first. So, I ask for your prayers, I ask for your support, but please do so for the same people that stepped up here and are willing to put their name on the line. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tammy Hsu. I'm here on behalf of Andy Hsu. He wishes he could be here today. He usually does attend these meetings, but he got overlooked today. He is running for the 324th District Court. If you have any questions before you attend any of the events, he will probably be there. And just remember, come voting day, choose Hsu.
Thank you. Okay, one, I turned the air down. That deserves a round of applause. Any woman here for 50 will definitely agree with me. I'll tell you. All right, let's see. Lee Wamsguns could not be here tonight. She has the flu. So pray for her, please. It's been tough. It's terrible. Also, as nice as this room is, and as grateful as I am for having it, hey, hi, beside you, Jody. As grateful as I am for it, it's not free, right? Little in this life is. So if you have some cash with you, we love cash in the box. Okay, you can also leave a check, but also, and I forgot to put these on the table, sorry about that, but we actually have QR codes. Where's my QR code from a guy that wanted me to have QR codes? There you are, look at that. Different one, I have a different one for the sign-ins. Anyway, you can pay online with your credit card, debit card, whatever, but we absolutely could use your help, okay? I put out a plea the other day, and we had several people that were very generous and very kind, and I appreciate that. But we have meetings all year long. We don't just have the one in February. And we are working, like I said, not just to conserve, but to claw back, right? And that takes cash to have meetings, to have candidates come in. I want that to continue. Okay, I think it's time for our first speaker. Slip that. It is. It's. Look at that. Doesn't that look great?
Better intro than I got at Commissioner's Court.
Well, here comes the KKK Tim. No, that's not true. That's not true. So I will say this is really important stuff. You can read it. I'll leave it up. But let me tell you what I know about Judge Tim O'Hare. Okay, I knew who he was long before he knew who I was. He wouldn't even live in South Lake. He lived in Farmers Branch. I always want to say Carroll. He lived in Farmers Branch. He served that community. I knew about him, and so did my husband Mike. We loved him because he said, I'm sorry, if you're illegal, you cannot rent an apartment here. Right? Yeah. And that was what year? 2012? Oh, jeez. I'm much older than I think. That was 2005. And then when I found out that he'd moved here, I was like, sweet, we've got a real one. We had a real live one. And don't we know? And I am so grateful that he has never, ever wavered from that. He has stayed conservative all along the way and doesn't let anyone knock him off of center. So the best thing I can do, that and his kids are adorable. We've been taking their photographs for years. We photographed him in soccer. So I will let y'all worry about his 5th generation and all that stuff. I just know that he's doing an amazing job as our county judge. Welcome, Tim O'Hare.
Well, hi everyone. I just came literally straight from downtown Fort Worth Commissioner's Court. On Commissioner's Court day, I normally get up about 5 a.m. I normally can't sleep much, and I think about just different things that may happen. So we literally went all day long, and I may talk about that in a minute, but I want to tell you a story. And the story is basically about me, but many other people say the same thing. So I was born and raised, I was born in St. Paul Hospital in downtown Dallas. Came home to a home in Farmers Branch, where I lived till I was about 42 years old. I was born and raised in Dallas County. My family's from Pittsburgh, Texas, but they moved to the city when Mom wasn't all that old, and so I lived in Dallas. I lived in Dallas for 42 years before moving to Tarrant County. Dallas County flipped red to blue, and I think it was something like 5 Democrats signed up to be on the ballot. Ran no campaigns. Some of them didn't even file a treasurer's report. They took money, they spent it, they didn't file anything. And then they ended up winning by maybe 0.2 of a point. No one predicted it. No one thought it would happen. And then the next cycle, 2 years later, they filed for every single race on the ballot, won every one of them. That was, I think, 2006 and 2008. And now Dallas County is 70% blue. So here we are in Tarrant County. What I believe is the best place to live in our state, literally in our country. And we are facing something similar this November. However, unlike what happened in Dallas County, we were forewarned by Senate District 9. We know that they're coming for Tarrant County. We know they think they can take it. And I want to ask you this question. I think Tarrant County is the most important county, literally in the United States, and I'll tell you why. Think about all these large metropolitan areas. Los Angeles, San Francisco, Detroit, New York, all these big giant cities. It's not this little bitty blue circle in those cities. It's blue expanded all the way around and continues to expand. Do you believe if the second largest county in the state of Texas, Dallas County, and the third largest county in the state of Texas, Tarrant County, become blue, do you think North Texas can withstand that? Ask yourself that question. And if North Texas goes blue and follows the same pattern, of every other metropolitan area in the country. How does Texas survive as we know it with this solid blue wall in North Texas? Eventually, Republicans stop having places to move for jobs, 2 counties over, 3 counties over, and so they move out of state, which is exactly what's happening in California, Illinois, New York. Texas is all of our homes. It's been my home since the day I was born. I'm a 5th generation Texan. What we have to be prepared for, we've got primaries going on. During primaries, there's hurt feelings. During primaries, people get upset, and the Democrats do something so much better than we do, it's not even funny, and we need to make sure we change this after March 3rd. And that thing is, Democrats always rally behind the Democrat candidate. Always. You are no less conservative and no less a patriot if you rally behind whoever the Republican nominees are. There is no perfect candidate running in the United States of America for office. And there never will be, because when Jesus comes back, he doesn't need to run for office, he'll just claim us all. So until we get to that point, we've got to get behind the Republicans. Knock yourselves out during the primary, vote for who you want to vote for, support who you want to vote for, help them. But then after March 3rd, we really do have to come together. And I'll tell you this, I have never seen Republican infighting stronger than I think it is now. And you got to ask yourself, why is that? So we won the White House, we won the Senate, we won the U.S. House. Are they doing every single thing you and I would like them to do? Of course not. We will never have an election or a House and a Senate and a president that does every single thing we all want, because we all have different views and ideas and things that we want to see happen. But just take a look at the economy. Look what's going on with the stock market. Shoot through the roof. The experts, the economic experts, predicted maybe the Dow could get to 50,000 by President Trump's 4th year. It got here literally, I think, a week after 1 year. And think of where all that money is. That's in your pension. That's in your 401k. We are the leading economic engine of the world, and we have a president who's doing a remarkable job with our economy, and he gets second-guessed all the time, criticized by the corrupt media, and they're literally wrong every single time on just about everything.
That's right.
One of the things that liberals do, and their media counterparts do, is they spread a narrative. So, she gave me permission to share this with you. Lee Wamsgans lost the Senate District 9 race, and multiple people have come to her and told her they got a phone call from what they could tell was some kind of calling bank saying she claims to be pro-life, but she's had 4 abortions. That's flat 100% untrue. Multiple things like that were going on. Multiple things go on like that at Commissioner's Court every single time we meet. Speakers and Democrats get up and lie through their teeth about things that are going on. And here's the deal, I'm not going to lie to you. When you're fighting people who are not bound by honesty, by integrity, by telling the truth, it becomes very difficult. It becomes very difficult to fight. So, my encouragement to each one of you is, there will never be an opportunity to take back this county if we lose it, because I've never seen it happen. Every single county I've ever seen go from red to blue, I've never seen it go back. They said every year in Dallas County we can get it back. They never did. Harris County, they say the same thing. I'm hopeful it'll happen. We should fight, help them. But it hadn't yet. And if you think Lena Hidalgo is off her rocker, wait till you see who they're going to prop up to run for county judge in Tarrant County. It will literally be the worst thing that has ever happened to this county. So, let me throw in a few things that we've done so you'll know about this. There's been a lot of talk about Doge. We have candidates running on we're going to Doge, and people say, why doesn't Tarrant County have a Doge office? And we have. For the last 3 years, it's been the Office of County Judge. And what we've done during that time frame, how many of you wish the government grew more and expanded? Okay, not, sir, you have your finger up. That's no. Okay. There we go. All right. The Tarrant County government, over the last 3 years, our operating budget was reduced year 1 by $8.1 million, year 2 by $50 million, year 3 by $21 million. Our budget is literally over $80 million less than when I started. Let's talk about tax rates. The Tarrant County government, through the Commissioner's Court, sets tax rates for the county and sets tax rates for the hospital district. All 3 times we have voted on tax rates for both the county and the hospital district, all 3 of them have been below the no new revenue rate. Those are actual tax cuts, not what some elected officials pass, where it cuts it by a penny, but then they take more money from you. These are actual tax cuts. Now, we're only, depending on what city you live in Grapevine, we might be 25% of your property tax bill. In Fort Worth, it might be 20%, because they have a much higher tax rate than Grapevine does. But we said we were going to cut taxes, we did. We said we were going to cut spending, we did. We have found waste, fraud, and abuse all over the county. We've eliminated. The other thing that I said when I ran was we're going to eliminate woke. So fortunately, Tarrant County did not have a ton of it. But one of the things that it did was it required all employees and elected officials to take DEI training. Well, I got in there and we ditched that. Gone. That doesn't exist. The county funded multiple programs with multiple nonprofits that literally taught children how America was bad, abortion is great, transgenderism is good, taught teenagers to explore their sexuality, taught everybody how bad the cops were, and how bad America is and how it's an evil place. Well, we defunded that, over $1 million taken out of the budget annually. We don't pay for that anymore. We're not going to let that happen to our children. So I could sit here and give you wins and things we've done literally for the next 2 hours and still have plenty to go. It would be great if we had a local media who actually reported fairly on things that happen. Okay? We don't, and we never have, and we're probably never going to. So I think it was Elon Musk that said it. When asked, who is the media? You are now the media. It's not Channel 8 News. It's not Channel 5 News. It's not the whatever the rag is that we have that calls itself a newspaper right here. It is you. And from the time I was like this little bitty kid, I played team sports. I was always on a team. I never played any individual sports. I view everything through the eyes of team. So whether you are conservative, Republican, right-leaning, libertarian, it doesn't matter. Elections are binary choices. You're going to have 2 choices when you come to vote in November. I promise you one of them is going to be better by a mile than the other one. And the idea that we're going to lose one because we'll get it better next time, that is a terrible formula. We've seen that followed by the Cowboys now for 30 years. It doesn't work. So, what I will leave you with is this. You don't really know what you have until it's gone. And all of you have experienced some kind of loss in your life, whether it was the loss of a loved one, loss of a job, loss of a relationship, where when you look back on it, you can say, wow, well, I had it good. I lived in Dallas County. we had it good, and we blew it. Take my word for it, we cannot let that happen here. Because it's not just Tarrant County we're talking about. It's the whole entire state of Texas. And if we lose this place, we're going to lose North Texas. We're going to lose the state. And Texas is literally the only thing that's keeping us from going full-blown socialist. And make no mistake, they are bound and determined to totally change the way we live. And don't be fooled by these people that get up there and act like they're moderate and just act like they're one of the guys. They're not. This is the party of AOC. This is the party of Jasmine Crockett. This is the party of that Antichrist James Tallarico.
Absolutely.
So stick together, fight it out in the primary, but we come together right after that, and we make sure we preserve what I would tell you and believe is the best county we have in this whole country that will keep our country together. So thank you for all your support, for all your prayers. Trust me, we need them, and God bless all of you.
Okay, guys, that was awesome. I told you he's an awesome county judge. We're so thrilled to have him. It's a true blessing. He mentioned the media, so I just want to tell you a couple of good things that you can look at that are good, or just to warn you on some things that are sort of good, but sometimes you just got to be careful. So for those of you in this immediate area, we have a thing called the Grapevine Edit. All right, does anybody see the Grapevine Edit? You watch it, you see it. It's great to find out if they're going to have ice skating today, okay? At the Christmas capital of Texas. It's great for all those kinds of things. But when it comes to politics, you need to absolutely turn a deaf ear, all right? They are definitely left. I mean, she's a photographer. What do you expect? Sorry, my husband's a photographer. Professional for about 60 years. So yeah, I had to give her a hard time. But no, she is a photographer. She's a good photographer. But they are definitely left-leaning when it comes to what they say about our elections or local elections or whatever. Just tune it out and focus on Post Malone and ice skating. All right, she's really good at that. Now, there's another thing, Dallas Express. I mentioned that to you earlier. I know it has the word Dallas in it, okay? But they talk about Tarrant County as well. And if anybody knows who Chris Putnam is, he was in Colleyville. He was on the city council. Ultra conservative for his entire life. That's all I know him as, so conservative. And he is actually the editor, whatever, he runs it, whatever that position is. They do a lot of really good stories. And then does anybody in here subscribe to or follow Current Revolt? Anybody? Anybody in here write for Current Revolt? No, sorry, I didn't say that. I won't out anybody, but I'll tell you this, it's great. It's kind of our TMZ, if you will, all right? It's kind of the TMZ, but here's what I can tell you about them. Whether you like the style or not one single time in the history of that publication have they ever been wrong, okay? They've been threatened to be sued, and everyone always has to drop it because guess what? Their facts are irrefutable. The facts are irrefutable. So there's a few out there that we can look to, but not a lot. Fort Worth Star Telegram is not one of them, is what I'll tell you. The other thing I want to mention, and two things actually. So Doc is going to be, if you have friends that couldn't make it here tonight, he's going to be in Plano from 10 to 12 on Saturday, all right? And if you want to find the details of that, you go to the Republic of Texas 1836.com. That's the Republic of Texas 1836.com. They are hosting him 10 to 12 in Plano on Saturday. If you didn't get that, Jody, throw your hand in the air. Jody over there is part of that organization. She can give you more details. The last thing is when Tim O'Hare said Tallarico, did anybody see the video this week of James Tallarico saying about abortion? Did you see that? Did you saw that? Did it not make you want to go throw up? Just made me sick. Mike and I have two big issues. I mean, I care about all things. But the sanctity of life is number one for Mike and I. It is where we have made the most amazing friends in politics, is people that are fighting for life. Second is the Second Amendment, because if you've got that, you can get almost anything else. That's what we say. So, right, Mikey? But today, or this week, James Tellerisio said that because the angel came to Mary, this is in the Gospel of Luke, because the angel came to Mary and asked her permission for God to bring this blessing through her. And she said, if it's God's will, let it be. Okay, that's what Scripture says. He calls that permission. And so he says that Jesus is okay with abortion if it is against the woman's will. In other words, I don't want to be pregnant. I didn't consent. I didn't want this, so I can kill this gift from Jesus because I didn't consent. Now, I don't know who you worship in here, but I tell you what, that's a false God. That is not a Jesus that we need anywhere in our life. That's what I'm going to tell you. Jesus loves life, and he hates when we step into his shoes and decide who will live and who will die. That is not our role. That is his role. All right, so, and James is of the devil. I tell you, he is of the devil. There's a lot of them like that. All right, I am not going to chat anymore. I'm going to let Doc come up. Mike, you have? Yeah. So, is there a second one, or is that the only one I put up? That's it. You don't know. I think that's it. So, here's what I can tell you. I know a lot about Doc. I'm not going to go into a lot. It's some up there. I'm going to let him tell you about himself. But he's an incredible person who has served this country in many, many ways. He has sacrificed for many, many people in many different ways. Matter of fact, he just helped save a child on Sunday. Okay? Just had to cancel an event for his own campaign to go and help save a child's life. All right? This is the kind of person he is. I got to tell you, it's really the kind of person I'd love to see leading our state. So nothing else. Come on up, Don.
No filter at all. Like that. These gentlemen that are with me take the credit. We were down in Houston and they came to me and said, we got to go rescue a kid. So I was over there west of around Hondo. And he's back, and it was part of a larger mission, but we had what's called a change of mission. Right? There's my Green Beret brother here. There he is. All right. I want you to know how he understands change of mission, but he just came up to me. I haven't seen him since 2015, 2014. He was at Fort Bragg with me, and he just walked in the door, and I'm like, I'm here. Another mission. But these gentlemen here, give them a round of applause because they said, we're changing mission. Our very first day is a God thing. I don't know how God works. I don't know. I have no idea. Oh, by the way, my name is Pete Chambers. I'm not a politician. I don't know how God works, but I know this, that our very first day that we were going to kick off this campaign was July the 4th. I was going to be on a float in Lakeway. I don't want to fall off here, but I'm going to recreate what I was going to be doing. It's not me, right? But they wanted me to be on a float in Lakeway. I live in Wimberley. And we had floods, right? We lit out Matt and me and the dog. I mean, 0600, we're heading towards, we ended up in Ingram that first day, and there was a Blue Oaks RV park that was completely missing. And there were people in there across the river that ended up being an island, well, the middle of the river, but it wasn't an island before that. And the guy that came out there in the middle of the night tried to get them to come out, watched them wash away, 70 people, watched them wash away. And Matt was the first one to find somebody that day. And then it continued with these gentlemen. And they found more and more and more until we got down to what we couldn't find. but that's closure for families, but there were people still alive on the sides of the river, some of them 30, 40 feet high in a tree. And so that's a change of mission, because there's priorities. As a leader, you understand that you have to weigh things based upon how close the target is to you, right? Sometimes we in the military, any veterans here, thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Yeah, please. But you understand that if you're in the Navy, you're underway, you're in the Navy, you're underway, I'm not a Navy guy, but you're underway and there's an iceberg in front of you, you turn, right? You understand that. You change mission, you change course. You understand the Air Force when a fire mission comes in and you're a fast mover and there's a bunch of guys like me on the ground and we're calling for close air support to survive, but sometimes there's a change of mission. So as a leader, you understand that sometimes you prioritize things based upon what's in front of you. And that's just a fact. It's how we do it. Law enforcement, you understand this. Fire department, you understand this. EMS, you understand this. Moms, you understand this. Sometimes you got to change mission. Kids started fire in the living room. Here you go there. Right? So I appreciate the judge's comments. I think he left, Judge O'Hare. I've only met him once before, and is a man of honor. And I can tell he's truly got this county and you in the top priority of his heart. That's a gift. That's a gift to finding somebody. It's a gift to have because he has a servant's heart. Right now, I'm a dichotomist. I'm a physician who then became a Green Beret and was an infantry guy before that. So I have to balance that. I got to be hard this time, but then I got to have that servant's heart this time. Right? It's a very difficult thing to do because I was a flight surgeon in the Green Berets, and they first doctor to go, and they sent me in there. I ended up at 2nd Battalion, 3rd Group with the Bush Hogs, and went down range and learned how to balance that. Doing hard things. As a commander, doing hard things. Going into office in 2027 and having to fire half the people in Austin that work for the state of Texas. It'll be hard for them. The time of cartoon characters running things for this state's over. Time's over. Right? We need serious people in there. We need people that care about this state, care about this nation, because the judge was right. Texas is a gem. It's a gem. It's a jewel. It is the target of many of these vectors of attack that are coming upon the United States. But Texas is the gem. It's the domino of the flyover states, the breadbasket of America. Oil producing, right? The energy of America. And we are not anymore somebody's investment tool. We're done with that. Texas is not an investment tool, right? And it's not for sale, and it's not for rent. It's not for sale, it's not for rent. Because we have this. It's called a Constitution, and it belongs to the state of Texas. And it's the finest Constitution in the nation. Because I've read it stem to stern. There's the most important part in here, and this is going to tell you exactly the most political power in the state and where it resides. Article 1, Section 2. All political power is inherent in the people. I'm going to say it again. All political power is inherent. It's not mine. I'm going to be the senior public servant. That's what I'm going to be, right? When I was with Mr. Bannon on his show and other shows, I've said it now because I believe it. The word governor is too British. We've already whooped them, right? We need to be senior public servants. We need to be servants. I was for a short time, a few years, a reserve sheriff deputy. I was a public servant, right? As a doctor, I was a servant. I watched my dad, when I was a little guy, riding in the truck and go trade for preserves. He was a family doctor doing house calls. And I swore that someday I would get out of medical school and I would do house calls again. I really wanted to do it. And raise some Coriantes, some people call it Coriantes, raise those through the roping industry, because that's the only way I can move cattle, because I didn't have time to take care of them when they birth small, because they got narrow ends, right? That's what I was going to do. And just like the Secondhand Lions movie, I just sit on my porch with a shotgun and wait to chase off people. And that didn't happen, because 9/11 happened. I had a choice to make. I came in the Army under Ronald Reagan, 1983, the best president I've ever seen, right? Yeah. And I got to stand about, not to fall up here, about this far away when he walked by, and I was on honor guard, I was a private, when he came to visit Hawaii, and he walking by, they told me, they said, Chambers, all the guys down there lining up to be honor guard. You gotta be 6 foot tall, I went. I barely made it. I was 5'11", and now I'm 5'10". I jumped too many times and carried too many rucks. Well, I had a malfunction and then on an infill and training infill, and broke my back, but it healed up. I want to read the rest of this, section 2. All political powers inherent to the people, and all free government is founded on your authority. Your authority. That sets the conditions right there. It is the hierarchy of things. Now, you're not the ones that sit in Austin and have to deal with herding cats. That's really the lieutenant governor's job, Perla. Good luck with the cats. Right? But I'm the one that has to veto all the crap that comes out of that whatever body over there, as they want to call it. There are some good people in there, no doubt. Very few. I've met them. I testified before the committee down there in Kerrville when we had a joint committee on flooding and emergencies. And looking at people come in, they gave me 3 minutes, fair enough. And I got to explain that there's a better way to do things when there's an emergency. We could do an after action review, and I would be willing to come in and help them with that. I've responded to a few things before. Tsunamis, hurricanes, 4 of them, earthquakes in Pakistan in 2005, where people want to kill me for being American, right? I can handle chaos. The way to handle chaos, by the way, is to control the controllables. I'll probably get back to that in a second here. Control the things you can control. A lot of times we get discouraged, we get demoralized, we get disenfranchised. These are all techniques that are used to overthrow a nation. But I've dealt with all these things, and when I was sitting there trying to testify to them, and they said, okay, we have no questions, thanks. I said, would you like my after action review? Yeah, we'll call you. Right? Nobody's called me. You got a senior lieutenant colonel that has worked with the Texas National Guard for 8 years, in Operation Lone Star, in a hurricane, during the COVID debacle. By the way, I was on the staff on Lamar Street at DPS during COVID, before the governor's office. I knew what was going on from behind the scenes. Why, Governor? All I'm going to say, why? Why'd you make us put on masks so early? Why'd you shut down our churches? Why'd you let liquor stores stay open instead of churches?
Why'd you force vaccines?
6,000 troops on that border. I stood between the governor and those troops as their task force surgeon. Said, here's your informed consent troops. I bring them into the border 500 at a time. Very first battalion I went down with, by the way, the very first battalion that I went down with, I'm proud to say, last unit that I was ever in the military, the first commander was William Barrett Travis. That's not prophetic, I don't know what is. When I get to that unit, and there's 6,000 troops, well, roughly 3,000 at the time, and here comes the mandates. I'm doing informed consents. It's Army regulation. It's experimental vaccine. And they say, Doc, 2-star general, we got to play this game. I like to do a lot of play acting. Doc comes in, kicks the door open. Why are you sending all the shot teams back to Austin? I was in McAllen. I said, well, sir, it's experimental. I'm not going to give it to the troops. And none of them want to take it. So it's just a waste of gas for them to come down here every time. That was the third time that I sent them back. And he said, Doc, I love you. Get with the program. So get with the program, sir. All right. Well, here's the numbers. I got the whiteboard right here. These are the ones that take the shot. They're sick. These are the ones that are not be able to go to duty. We got to be, we got to be mission ready. Blah blah blah. And we played this game. It's called rock paper rank. I was a lieutenant colonel. It was a 2-star. Guess what happens?
You won.
Well, in the long run, unfortunately that day I lost my job because he said, Doc, it ain't about the science. It's about the policy. We look terrible. State looks terrible. You got 7 people that take it out of 3,000 informed consent. 7 people took it. And I said, well, sir, I think that's victory, because we're gonna find out that you could probably take hydroxychloroquine or ivermectin. I can't have that's on me. But, lost my job. And then they put me in this closet, it's about the size of this right here, and said, and they took me out of my special forces unit. I was in a special operations detachment in Austin, over there by B Cave. And they said, no, you don't get to go back to your unit. We're gonna have you stamping physicals up here at Camp Mabry in Austin. That's all I'd be doing, stamping physicals, reviewing them. Are you kidding me? I went straight over to Alex Jones' idea, get on your show. That's what happened. And I testified, SEALs versus Lloyd Austin. Guess what? Green Berets are always rescuing SEALs. It's a fact. Right, brother? So I went and testified for the SEALs versus DOD. I was still technically in uniform. I was trying to retire. I got a call from the Pentagon. I got a call from SOCOM. Then I got a call from USASOC, United States Army Special Operations Command. You're going to testify against the DOD? You know what that's going to do to your career? I'm like, I'm getting out. I don't care. I testified, told the truth. There were four people in the Department of Defense that testified, medical providers that testified about the shot. 4. I think we got a few more than that. The reason I'm telling that story is not to go, hey, wow, Pete Chambers is a great guy. To say, do you want somebody willing to take the position of the governor? I've read the job description, by the way. I've got to protect you from DC, and then I got to protect the rest of the state from Austin. That's my job. You want somebody that's going to go up against the federal government and say, no, you can't do it? I respect the president, always have. I take a bullet for any one of them as a soldier. But right now, I'll take a bullet for any one of you over them any day when it comes to verbal bullets going back and forth. I've got to protect you. That's my job. A commander is responsible for everything that happens or fails to happen. I learned that when I was a private, right? 1983. Sergeant First Class Judge Jesse Canales, Fort Benning, Georgia. Chambers, you're in charge of First Platoon. I'm 19 years old. My best friend, name's Chambers, boss team in Vietnam. You're going to be First Platoon leader in basic training. Wasn't serious, but it was. I learned how to lead people as 18-year-old. You're responsible for everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when it's bad, you got to fess up. You can't point fingers at the local communities and say, no, they're the ones raising taxes. Let me tell you something. There's a thing called second and third order effects. What happens in Austin affects that. When a governor says there's an emergency, and there's many times when emergencies have been declared, and they don't pull them off quick enough, taxes go up. I saw it happen in Kerrville. By first week, Kerr County was already increasing local taxes. People still in the water, underwater, families, children, right? Vehicles with people in it. We're raising taxes. Heartless. But when a governor sets that tone, then those things roll to that position to where there are times when Texas has 200 out of 254 counties under emergency declaration. The fires are gone, the floods are gone, Hurricane Harvey's gone. We got $30 billion in an emergency fund, just in case, rainy day fund, but it never makes it in to help the people, right? At the local level. There was legislation that did come through in 2021 to have money ready available to help people with their homes. You ask the people in Sandy Creek what happened to them. One of the worst fiascos I've ever seen. Where they were washed away. The governor rolled out there and got on the bridge and sat there and looked at it and said, we're going to help you. It took them another 2 weeks before the first person showed up. Okay, Texas Department of Emergency Management failed. But that's a leadership fail because the governor is responsible for that. You've got to take responsibility. Which means, what does that look like? It looks like me, 12 of May 2004, Iraq. I just happened to be sucker punched by an IED that blew up my truck. Somehow I survived it, right? I had the most antennas on my truck, so what do you think happens to those people? They get blown up. Right? That's the target. I was the commander. 3-vehicle convoy, lost my gunner, he was right next to me. He took 90% of the shrapnel that should have killed me. Jeff saved my life that day. 12th of May 2004. Grid coordinate Mike Bravo 4560780. That's the grid. Just have to remember it. A year later, I went to see his mom. I'm going to tell you about responsibility as a leader. I didn't have to go. It was a memorial. I was a captain. Flew out to Washington State. I said, ma'am, I was his commander that day, I'm responsible for what happened that day. You can hate me, you can hit me, you can do whatever, but anything I can do to help you with your bereavement process, I'm here. And she looked at me and said, live your life like Jeff's life mattered. Live your life like Jeff's life mattered. Now, we've been talking about Jesus here today, so I'm going to tell you, he's a friend of mine. Right? He talks to me. When I step in front of a room, I ask him, and I say, show me their hearts. Show me their hearts, and show me how to love them. And if I drive out of here, when y'all cuts me off, I'll be thinking the same thing. Show me how to love that person. But I look at this room and I see friends that I've known for a while, Republic of Texas, love you. I've seen people from Amy Seaver's group, love them. I see people that I've met along the campaign trail. I love each and every one of you, and I do. I'm willing to take hits for you. But we've got to learn that in this relationship that we have, you've got to know me as much as I've got to try to know you. That's why I'm on the road every day, driving everywhere. I've been in probably 250 counties in the state during the COVID thing, and responding to things, and going all over and just being on the ground. And yes, those pundits will tell you out there, he doesn't have a home, he's not a landowner. Right? Because for the last 8 years, more than that, since 2015, I lived in the barracks, right? I lived on the border. I lived in a hotel. I lived in my trailer. Because I'm completely dedicated to the reservation, the Constitution, this one here now, both of them, against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Completely dedicated. That's called relentless. I got a dog that's usually with me, Joe. He's relentless. When he goes after something, he's relentless. That's the word we've got to be right now, because this color revolution will take no prisoners. You cannot negotiate with barbarians. I've tried to do it. It usually ends up in a gunfight, right? I don't want to get there. I've seen war. It's ugly. You know what war is? War is insanity that's tangible. Insanity, I can't even explain what that, even to try to explain it. I'm not a false bravado guy. I'm not going to get up here and say, yeah, then I cut this hard corner, cleared my corner, and then I came across it. No. War is ugly. It's the worst possible thing you've ever seen. And I don't wish it on anybody. But I've got to stop that from happening here, because in here, Article 4, Section 7, it is incumbent upon the governor to defend this state. Otherwise, dereliction of duty. I will not be guilty of dereliction of duty. I will not. When my teams were on that border, we were briefing 120 countries were coming across, 12,500 people a week out of 1,254 miles of Rio Grande and the Big Bend. And we say, sir, I did personally one time in Del Rio Hangar, but to his staff, we have got to declare foreign terrorist organization, FTO. We've got to declare a transnational criminal organization on these 8 different, not just 2, not just Muslim Brotherhood, not just terrorists. There are at least 8. And I'm just talking about in one particular problem set. We've got the Chinese. We've got the Tren de Aragua, right? That's the thugs that they use to go out and to move, like kids that we were with the other day. Those are the thugs. We've got to stop that, because if we don't stop that, if we cannot just, here it is, Ezekiel chapter 33, right here. I'm not going to pull it open because I don't have my glasses. I'll just be sitting here long. But honestly, we are watchmen. And if I'm a watchman, it is my job to inform my commander. If my commander doesn't do it, it's on him. It's what happened to us on the border. Hey guys, he said no, he's not going to do it. Okay, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to keep counting heads, because that's what we did on Operation Lone Star. We counted heads. Looking for needles in a stack of needles, we counted heads. Now we stopped some once in a while, we saved some kids once in a while, but we did not have a concerted effort in order to achieve an end state of pure security. We did not have that. It was never achieved. It's an optic. Thank God for President Trump. Amen. Right? Thank God. I do not idolize any man and call him a savior. Understand that. I hold every president accountable I've served under. But He put the tourniquet on the border. Who comes next after President Trump? We don't know. Do we need to continue the same trajectory that we're on, allowing us not to adhere to 4.7 in this document? Or do we just sit by and go, well, I think I'm just going to sit on my hands on this one, see what happens? No. We have all, because of the first principle I told you about, the Bill of Rights, Article 1, Section 2, y'all have the power. The only thing that I can do is I get to peek inside the red side, if you will, of this thing. I get to look at the problem sets, and then I get to get on a fireside chat with you and say, guess what, Texas? That's called the bully pulpit, right? I call it cheerleading. Whatever it is, I've got to say, hey, I need some help. You know what Texas did in 2007 with Rick Perry? I met the man. I went in a room with a Mark 19, not Mark 19, it was a 249, so assault, quad automatic weapon. It was blanks. We were shooting hostage rescue targets, and we went in there and Cat Bullis, and he shot everything, including the hostages. But that was training. But you know what citizens did? He was Air Force. There you go. Hey, now we got some Air Force people here. I respect them all. I respect them all. But yeah, I understand. That'd be dangerous. But the citizens of Texas stopped the Trans-Texas corridor under Rick Perry, which was part of the NAFTA program to build a highway from Texas, Mexico, all the way to Canada. Two counties started it, called the 391 Commission. It's only been used about 5 times in the state of Texas. But imagine I come to you and say, citizens, I'd like you to build a 391 Commission, which is 24 people, and it's made up of some local leaders and citizens. They're astute and have passion. They all say, I don't like what they just passed. We'll build a 391 Commission and we'll work on it. Or I don't like what they're about to pass. We'll build a 391 Commission. And all I have to do is just prompt you and say, let's go. Let's roll. Right? Because otherwise, we're not doing true, what's the word again? Constitutional Republic, that's it. Right? That's it. Because that's what we are. We're not a democracy. Now, if I hear another person say that on the news, I'm going to throw the TV out the window. Because it's not what we are. What we are is a constitutional republic. The Republic of Texas, by the way. The gem, the jewel. And a lot of people fought over on 24 February 1836. The gentleman that commanded my first unit said, to all Texans and Americans in the world, fellow citizens and patriots were sieged on all sides by enemies under them Santa Anna. But now it's not. Now it's principalities, rulers of darkness. That's major category. Subcategory, World Economic Forum. You won't see me at Davos unless I'm going to rope somebody up and take them out. Matter of fact, you'll rarely see me go past Beaumont. Definitely not going to New Mexico. I got family in Oklahoma, don't hold against me, they're great people. Go to Rio Grande, all to the red. That's it. That's the limits of this area of operations, if you will, called Texas. But William Barrett Travis went on to say that I'm calling on you in everything dear to the American character to come to our aid with all dispatch. What does that mean? That means you're decisively engaged. You're black on ammo. You know that nobody coming. You pray. You do what my soldiers said to me one time. To Gob Valley, Afghanistan. I wasn't even the commander. I'm just their doctor trying to plug holes. He said, boy, I sure hope they don't attack. I said, son, hope is not the plan. The plan is we have to build it. We're building this plane in flight. We're doing it right now. We're ready to go day one. We have task force, tax force, H-1B task force, F-1 visa task force, DEI task force, batteries in the ground task force. That's our lithium batteries, by the way, that'll burn forever. You can't put them out. Set off caustic substances that'll kill people if they're within a municipality, and they are. We have an AI data center task force. We're building back the Texas State Guard, back to where Bowie, when he started it, The State Guard, not the National Guard, the State Guard, which means it's not under Title 10 or Title 32, which means that the next time somebody has an undeclared war in DC and wants to send everybody from Texas because they know we're the only ones who know how to fight, right? When they decide to do that again, no, we have the Texas State Guard. And every member, every able-bodied man in the state of Texas, all the way up to age 65, I'll move it up to 85, there's a reason for that. Everybody in that unit, Texas State Guard, will pay 0 property taxes day one. You imagine that. Just imagine that. Now, that's going to ultimately end up where we'll have 0 property taxes for everybody. We can't flip it on its head until we actually do the audits to find the fraud, waste, and abuse. Because otherwise, we've got a big problem. We've got smart people looking at it, 4 teams. I wish I could say I could do it day one, but I can't. But by day 30, you'll have a vote on it exactly what the first percentage will be. Because there's one thing that I'll do different than the incumbent. People ask me, well, what are you going to do different? Because you can tell who's the avid people, and I don't, and this is an election. We fought for that right. I say, okay, what are you going to do different? I won't lie to you for 11 years. I wouldn't be there for 11 years because I'm a term limit guy. I believe that needs to be in law. I believe that we should elect our Secretary of State. We should elect our Secretary of State. It's not an appointed position. I mean, it is, but it shouldn't be. A lot of states don't do that. We've got a lot of problem with that. We got open primaries. We still got the heart machines. When I left the Texas National Guard after they put me in the closet to stamp physicals, I went to work for a think tank down there in Dripping Springs. It's more of a do tank. Hostage rescue stuff, election integrity stuff. That unit down there, I think it's all former military, DIA, Green Berets, SEALs, these guys, regulators, these are regulators. We go after bad guys. And most of it's not kinetic, meaning there's no shooting going on. We found the source codes that came out of Venezuela. They did. I came on board afterwards. And gave it to a guy named Lindell. Didn't give it to him, but told him that he funded it, the operation to expose it with regard to SmartMag. With regard to what's going on with PSS. With regard to what's going on with HART. So understand that very well. I'm not the scientist that found it, nor do I even know what source code really means. But it doesn't matter. As a leader, it's incumbent upon me to find the people that do. We've already got built in-house. So we have an election integrity task force. Now, once we take, yes, thank you. Because that's number one thing. Number one thing, absolutely, I agree with you. That's why I'm saving that towards the end here. Because if we don't have a fair election, then what are we doing here? And there's nowhere else to go. So then you get to the last part of this little statement here, and here's what it says, and this is the ugly part, but the Texas National Movement people will tell you this. I got to read it because it's in this document. And it says here, after all political powers inherent in the people part, it says the faith of the people of Texas stand pledged to the preservation of the Republican form of government and subject to limitations only. They have, at times, the inalienable right to alter, reform, or abolish their government in such a manner they think expedient. We don't want to get there. But understand this, that we will not put up with anything that comes against this state that would harm this state. I don't know if we have 8 more years like this, playing with cartoon characters. I don't know. We've got to get serious. We're willing to work with them. We've got to get them to jump in line. Because the enemy is the devil, but the Democrats right now, they're willing to do anything. They're going to call and talk about a lady that said she had abortions. That's just pathetic. And I've been called everything but what I am, and I get it. I wasn't issued emotions. I lost them a long time ago. It took me 2 years to get them out of my system. 1985, they were gone. But we've got to be serious about this. So I think we're at the end. Okay.
We can take some questions for about 10 minutes if you want.
Let's do about 5 because we got a haul right after this long way.
We can do that. So we're gonna take questions, okay? But we gotta do it.
And I'm willing to talk because I know we're going to be a lot of people, you know.
So before we talk, I will say this really quick, and hopefully everybody smelled it when you came in, but we have a new Italian restaurant downstairs, okay? Just FYI. So we do have to be out of this room at 8, and we'll get there, we're fine. I do need about 10 people to stay and help put chairs away, and put the room back the way it is, so we get our deposit back, that would be really nice. But also, you can also continue all your conversations downstairs. The restaurant's open until 10, and that's where I'm going, all right? So we can all meet up back down there, and we can hang out. And Romeo, the owner, would love that. He would love to see all of us there. So, I'm buying the dinner, baby. My date for tonight. Joy?
Yeah, so
Jordan.
after election integrity is all fixed, can we please fix our schools to get our kids back to a normal brain? Our schools are just effed up.
Can you be more specific?
We got the head of our task force right over here.
Everything,
Yeah.
Just say yes.
Yes, Andrew, raise your hand. We're looking at Andrew, and you hold him accountable. He will be in charge. And he's a school teacher, a coach.
Afterwards, I'll take all education questions.
There's a white paper that's on there. Look, don't believe anything you read. You've got to understand that we've got to have action, right? So we've got to be action figures with kung fu grips. So I think there was a question here. Okay, well, I'll let you run that side.
Okay, I'll do this.
On the auctioneer, you hold that.
Doc, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I've been on the battlefield. Boyd Curry, 1st 160th Task Force out of Fort Campbell. So thank you. Courage is contagious, so I appreciate you standing up and leading the way. I work with a company that goes to construction sites, and I know I speak enough Spanish, and the guys tell me on the site, how many guys here out of 300 people working this job site are illegal? 80%. 80%. That's theft in the largest degree.
Largest degree, yes, sir.
What are we going to do, or is there a plan to remove these illegals so we can get young guys back jobs?
Absolutely, yeah, and that would be, honestly, it would be a weekend dissertation for us, but honestly, there is a plan. It has to do with F-1 visa, and that's not just for that. That's IT and financial sector. But we're talking about, first of all, we've got to tear out the serious bad guys out of the state. Look at Colony Ridge. I flew over it the other day on the R-44, right? So we're looking at that. 100,000, 150,000 people in there right now. 18th largest city in Texas. And it's 90% illegals. And there's some bad people in there. Sheriffs are going in there all the time having to try to, but they've got to go in there with a SWAT team. You can't, it's not like your typical. So yeah, the plan is there. Part of the State Guard will be attached to that because a lot of former LEO that still have credentials can come on board. So it doesn't tax the local. Because sometimes you have sheriffs that don't work with the government. I've seen it personally on the border. There's some that are good, there's some that are just downright part of the problem. So we've got to work on that.
So we have a plan, you have a plan moving forward.
Yes, sir.
I'm not just talking about all the bad ones, I'm talking about all the.
Yeah, there is a plan. Yeah, we can discuss it. Thank you. Yes, sir.
How would you handle the Epic issue differently?
Well, it would not be where it's at if we had said, I got to tell the story because it's the facts. We gave that briefing 4 years ago. Remember when I said we got to have the foreign terrorist organization? And we said, sir, otherwise, in the next few years, you're going to have a problem with this. These are called lily pads, and they set up. And the ultimate goal there is called a caliphate. And I don't want to get into the history of all this and how it works, but you're either to them a friend or you're an enemy, or you're going to be taxed to them whenever they go. They're not taking over here. That's what's taking place all around the country. So when it comes to that, there's a way to look at the networks and to shut that down. Anything Sharia law is illegal, those doors are getting kicked and people are going to be put in cuffs. Right? We can't just talk tough. We have to do it. If a bunch of Democrats want to walk out in a House session, and you call out and say you're going to have the Texas Rangers arrest them, you better do it. That's the sign of weakness. Okay. We've got to be men of action, men and women of action. We cannot stand by and let this go on any longer. Otherwise, I'd much rather, now it's too late, I'm already in this. There would be a different life, but I'm not taking that. In the Bible, Caleb didn't retire, by the way. He went after Nephilim at 86. Okay, next question.
Yeah, I'd like to hear you speak more about like the H-1B, H-4, F-1, OPT.
Yeah, I'll get it.
You're going to Plano soon, and
Yeah.
that direction, like if you drive there, just pay attention to all the different types of buildings.
Yeah, it's changed, hasn't it?
Like the
Yeah.
stores.
You
You
drive
start
north
to
out
see
of
it,
Preston to get out of there.
it's becoming more of an issue.
Yeah. 40,000 foot view on that. So H-1B visa and F-1, as you bring people into college, they come in and they go to graduate school, right? So to universities, two of them are egregious at this. They're allowing those F-1s to then go into graduate programs, nothing wrong with that, but they're giving them the teaching assistant jobs. But then, that's the wide part of the funnel. Then they get put into the H-1B. Now then the H-1B, their enterprise applications, SOX, federally mandated training that they took in whatever country that they came from, that's allowing them to be a step ahead of Texans, young Texans, who are smart and can do technology skills, but they don't give them that training in high school. That can be taught in a year and a half in high school. So you take a 16-year-old, you say, I'm a VOTEC fan. You take a 16-year-old and say, you want to go to the Army, you know, Navy, Air Force, you want to go to VOTEC? Not everybody needs to go to college because it's a waste of time most of the time, right? Especially in the DEI world, because otherwise, I've seen a lot. Anybody in the technology sector in Texas will tell you, those schools are not preparing them for them. They do not put them in jobs. About 60% of them don't. So then you take those kids, those young kids, and then me as governor, I say, we're going to de-incentivize you, XYZ Corporation. We'll just call you BlackRock, Invested Corporation, and say, we're going to de-incentivize you because of your ESG, your DEI, and all this other stuff. You're not hiring Texas ratio correctly. And so then, right, now they're paying more taxes, right? So that's the way that we can handle it. Because I cannot, until we get into the ring with the federal government, I'm not writing strongly worded letters. I cannot go up against the immigration laws because I'm the governor of the state of Texas. I can't do that. But what I can do is go up there and sit down with them and then make coalitions between our states that are with us and have a central coalition, because you've got to work together. I'm already talking to people running in Oklahoma. I'm talking to one in Louisiana. We've got to have those coalitions be strong. That's what leaders do. We force multiply. And so that's how we do it. But then we utilize the citizens to then come in for those bully pulpit moments to move legislation quickly and whatever commission that we're going to create. Those commissions will be permanent. They won't just be part-time. But great question. Yeah.
You can say.
Which-
I have a filter, nobody else has to.
It's okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, absolutely. And good to meet you. Now, this is the last one, or?
There's one
You don't want to
other.
end on this one.
One other.
And that's one more after this.
Yeah, a lot of us, we really
I'll
like.
meet any of you on the side because I've got to get a lot of hours from here tonight.
A lot of us really like a lot of things you're talking about. You're talking about a lot of different issues that really resonate. But you're going up against Abbott. He's got unlimited funds.
Yeah.
And so, not to get ahead of ourselves here, but many people are saying this. You know, would you ever consider running for chairman of the Republican Party in Texas?
Wow. Well, you know, I've got a thing that I call a PACE plan, primary, alternate, contingency, emergency. So the primary is to win governor, right? Alternate, whatever that may be, is whatever it is, but I respect that. Thank you. Yeah. Because the tactics we're using right now is thermopylae. We're bringing them into a narrow pass. We don't have the funding. We can't. There's no way you get name recognition from August the 1st till March the 3rd. By the way, that's second is of March is Independence Day in Texas. The 3rd is going to be Liberation Day.
So that's the last question.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you one quick one.
Yes, ma'am.
30 seconds to answer it. But before, guys, as soon as we finish answering this one, we're going to say thank you, and then everybody go downstairs and have a good time, have some spaghetti, and talk. But don't forget, except for the 10, or whoever will stay and help. Please help. Please help. Please help.
And put money in the box.
And please donate. I gotta say, donate, please. So my last question is, what is your plan? You only have 30 seconds. You gotta have a good plan. What's your plan to get rid of Robin Hood and recapture?
Recapture, right? So we do not have a development plan for that yet. Obviously, we understand the problems that, but yeah, we do not have a plan yet because we're drinking from a fire hose on information. And if it makes sense, that's what we'll be doing. One last thing.
Oh yeah, listen guys.
One last thing. I'm gonna get this horseshoe nail out of my hat.
Listen guys, hold on. Listen.
for want of a nail, your votes matter, by the way, your volunteering matters, everything matters what you're doing. This is a horseshoe nail. For want of a nail, a hoof could be lost. For want of a hoof, a horse could be lost. For loss of a horse carrying a rider with a message to the front, a battle could be lost. For loss of a battle, a war could be lost. For loss of a war, the Republic of Texas could be lost. And for the loss of that, the rest of the nation goes. I don't know how long we have. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just an Ezekiel 20:33 watchman. This is just the facts. So remember that nail. Thank you. Thank you. Leave the table, take chairs to the table. Take chairs to the table.
Chairs stay. Keep the chairs at the table.
Okay, guys, thank you. I'm gonna close this for now. They may be going downstairs to chat around, poke Karen. I didn't get
Hey,
to say
folks,
hi.
whoever's handling chairs,
Judy, love you.
please leave 10 chairs at each. Eight, I'm sorry. Please leave 8 chairs at each table.
Thank you. We're gonna be on here Saturday. What a great day. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I need to get another chair over here.
We're gonna do that.
We got you, honey.
Oh, ha. Okay, sorry, they were gathering chairs and I was in the way.